Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of the Wake Up podcast. And today we're going to be talking about 20 things we learned whilst being 20. 20 things we learned whilst being 20, as I'm finally about to turn 21. So, perfect time to finish off my first 20 years of my life. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today, and you with your hosts Lucy and
Aisha.
And we're going to get right into it. But first of all, how have you been this past week?
I've been okay, a little bit stressed
Why?
because I'm on the job search, right? And
Oh, here we go.
do you know what I mean? Like, honestly, it's just so long, the whole process. And I found a job that I think will be perfect. And I've been working really hard on this application. And then when you start it, things change and they want to know this and they want to know that. And I'm like, oh, can I just get the job, please? Can you just give it to me? But yeah.
It'd be hard out there. It'd be hard.
It's hard out here, yeah.
It is hard out there. Oh my god. Oh, that's because I was at work yesterday.
Oh yeah. How's your week been?
All right. It's not been too bad. Just weird. I've got work today as well. I'm in till 11:15 p.m. So we love that. But I'm not at work tomorrow, so I'll be able to sleep in.
Yes.
That's all good. I was going to say something. It's completely gone out of my head. Oh yeah, I was going to say we met up this past week.
Yes,
Our
we
last
did.
episode.
Yes, we did.
And what did we do, Aisha?
We ate so much food. I'm still dreaming about that sushi. Like, I would have thought that would be sick of sushi after the amount of food that we ate. But I'm still craving sushi, man. We ate so much.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
We did the eat out to help out, and we got like 3 different sushis, and then we got like a tempura aubergine, and we got like a teriyaki tofu, and oh my god, it was. I'm sorry, that doesn't sound like a lot, but oh my god,
No, it was. We were struggling.
We were literally like, we feel like kids who like have no concept of when to stop, and when you're just eating and eating, you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna vomit. That's how I felt. We were like, we gotta finish this. We can't leave any.
Honestly.
So we were really struggling.
Yeah. No, but it was worth it though. I'm glad we did that. Maybe we shouldn't have ate it as fast as we did, but hey.
No, we did. We were eating for like over an hour.
We were.
It did take us a while, but I think we went too fast, too soon.
Mm-hmm.
We were like,
literally inhaled it. It's the excitement.
I know. I haven't. That was the first time I've ate out. Because obviously Leicester City, which I don't live in the city, I live in the Shire, but yeah, Leicester City's in lockdown, so a lot of places I'd usually go and eat are closed. So that was my first experience eating out when I came to see you, so that was interesting.
Man, you enjoyed it. Worth the wait.
It was worth the wait. Okay, so let's jump into the things we've learned.
Yes. Are we gonna do it like you say one, I say one?
Yeah, I'll say one, and then we'll see if we've got similar ones as well. I've got a couple that are like kind of borderline the same, but I didn't know how else to like sort that out. Do you know what I mean?
I get you.
So my number one, it's not in like this is my top one, but my first one I thought of was school actually isn't all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first one.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like when you're younger, everyone's like, you've got to get these grades, you've got to do this, and oh my god, it's like your life will be over and everything. And like obviously grades matter because grades get you the stepping stone to the next place. But like school is so hyped up in the UK to be like, it's like that or nothing. And honestly, I don't think it is. Like the amount of pressure that I felt like I was put under at school, I absolutely feel like it wasn't necessary. And I don't know, it just made me really not feel well at school, and it caused a lot of anxieties and stuff. And I mean, I'm someone who's quite hard on myself anyway. Like, I've got to do well, but
Yeah.
like, I feel like school put so much pressure on. And I remember like them sending a letter home, like I wasn't going to get a C at GCSE when I came out with a B. And I'm like the amount of pressure they put on. And at the end of the day, I think not for all teachers and schools, but a lot of schools and teachers just want you to get a better grade just so it looks good on them.
Yeah.
Not like it's not like they genuinely want you to do well. So I just think school, is a bit of a mess. And I don't know, they just put too much pressure on people like that this is the be all end all when it really isn't. Like now I've come out of uni as well. I'm just like I reflect back on school and I'm like, damn, like the amount of pressure I was under, I'm like, I can't believe
Honestly. Honestly, like the stress we felt at such a young age as well. When you look back, you're like, that's not right. That's not right to
yeah.
put that much amount of stress on kids.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, even if you don't get the grades that they tell you to get, you can still go places in life. Like you see people achieve things, they work from the bottom, and they like become really successful. It's not the be all and end all, like you said.
Mm.
So yeah, that's crazy. I agree. I think in the UK as well,
Yeah.
it's really bad how they do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like other countries, like I think it's Finland, like their kids don't go to school till 7,
Yeah.
and they do fine, and like they have a different education system and stuff. But what I was going to say as well is like I'm not saying like don't try hard in school. Like it's a good lesson for like later on because like when you go in the working world, you're going to have to work hard. Even if you don't have the grades, it's about working hard. That's what will get you places. So I'm not saying don't work hard because grades don't matter. I'm just saying like if you don't come out with what you think or you've had pressure on you to do this certain thing and you've not been able to achieve it, like honestly, like it's gutting if you've worked hard, but like it ain't gonna be the end of it. How they make it out like if you don't get this then you ain't going anywhere. Well, that ain't true.
No, it's really not. I always, I remember when I like talk to my school friends when we look back on like our school years. I always used to say to them, if I could go back to school, I would like mess around loads more and like get into a fight if I could. Because I like, I know that sounds dramatic, but like when you look back and you're like, I was a kid, I could have done anything. Like
Mm,
now, you had that freedom, and
yeah.
obviously it's a good thing to work hard, and I
Mm,
did. But yeah, I kind of regret not enjoying my childhood more, if that makes
same,
sense. Yeah.
same.
But
I
yeah.
just like, obviously there was times where I messed about or I didn't do the homework. Well, not that I didn't do the homework, but I've left it to the last minute or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
I just feel like when I look back, I'm like, I don't really do anything like other than school. It's a bit, it's a bit shit, really, isn't it? Like, to look back and
Yeah.
think, my childhood, I don't really feel like I had much of one. So yeah, I get what you mean by that.
Yeah, it's a sticky one because, like you said, so many people put pressure on us, like school, our family as well. And even though, like, we look back and it's like, yeah, we didn't do much. I guess it's a good thing in a way because obviously we worked hard, we got good grades. But yeah, it's like
Mm,
the grass is always green on the other side. You know what I mean?
mm,
Yeah,
true.
mad. Okay, my first one is don't listen to anyone other than yourself.
Okay, go on.
It's just like, yeah, I've been thinking a lot, and it's like when you try and live up to other people's expectations or other people's standards, um, yeah, in the long run, it's only going to make you miserable. Do you know what I
Mm,
mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah, I just think, yeah, you should be more selfish and put yourself first more. That's
Mm.
something that I wish
But
I.
it's not necessarily selfish, is it? I
No,
know
no, it's
selfish
not.
is like doing things for yourself, but like it, it has like a negative connotation, selfish.
Hmm.
Like at the end of the day, I always think, and I find it hard to put this into implement it into my own life, but at the end of the day, you're the only person you can rely on.
Yeah.
Because if everybody goes, who can you rely on? It will only be you.
Hmm.
So if everybody disappeared or everybody left you or you know, everyone literally just blinked and everyone snapped and everyone was gone, who would be there to support you? Yourself.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you have to have that foundation of like, I've got to listen to myself, what I need and what I want.
Exactly, yeah. Because if you're in a position where you only have yourself and you spent the rest of your life just doing other things for other people, then you're going to be like, okay, what about me? What have I done for myself? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah. So that's something that I thought was really important. And yeah, it's not too late to implement that, I think, even if you haven't been doing that already. I think if you just start now, start focusing on yourself and taking care of yourself,
Mm.
you'll notice big changes that will like play a big part in your life. And yeah,
Yeah,
I think it'll have a really positive effect. So
yeah, it's
yeah.
important. It's very important. My I've got a couple that link into that I'll get to in a bit. But my second one was just because they're blood doesn't make them family.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I
Ooh,
know.
ah!
Well, what I was thinking is, and this isn't like an attack on anyone in my family, but
Mm,
um, I think there's too much pressure on, well, they're family, so you have to do this, or but because they're family, then they're this, or it means that this and that, da 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 da, whatever.
yeah,
But I really think like sometimes, you know, friends can be more family than family are, and I also think, well, just because they're blood, like, why does that make them entitled to anything in my life? You
yeah.
know, if they're not serving you, um, or you know, your purposes or your thought processes or whatever, if they're doing more damage than good, then why are you letting this status of that you share the same blood like hold so much weight? Because it shouldn't. Like
Mm,
I think, you know, I think in many cultures family is a big thing, and it's also a big thing because evolution and stuff, and we like to be in like our own packs. We don't want to be outcasted because we don't do well on our own. But at the same time, if it's like detrimental to like how you feel, your mental health and whatever, like we shouldn't hold on to that family member just because they're family. Well, what have they actually done to be family? Do you know what I mean?
mm.
What are they doing to progress you in your life?
That's very true. Yeah, 100%. I feel like yeah, in certain cultures, family is very important, but if they're not like supporting you, then yeah, you shouldn't have to feel like you need to support them. You know
Like,
what I mean?
especially when people are like, oh, but their family, have you rang them? Have you messaged them? Well, no, because they're not serving anything in my life. And all they've caused is, you know, issues or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
don't feel entitled just because you share the same blood. Like, if they're not serving the title of being a family member, then they're not family.
Just
You know,
because they're technically family doesn't mean they're.
they're actually family.
Yeah, I feel like it has two meanings. So obviously, one, like you're related by blood, whatever. But like family can also be your friends. It can be,
Mm,
um, I don't know, mentors, people that supported you.
yeah.
Yeah, neighbors, whatever. Like whoever has helped you grow, and
Mm,
like yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's difficult to put into words, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure on being family. But if I feel like if they're not like physically acting in a way that,
Yeah.
yeah, am I making sense right now? I feel like
No,
I'm
no,
not.
no. Yeah,
Yeah,
you are.
yeah,
You are.
yeah.
You are. Yeah, that's how I feel as well.
No, I definitely
Like,
agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, number three. Mine is.
Don't you want to do your number two? Oh, are
Oh,
we doing?
oh no! Wait, no wait. Yeah, I haven't done number two. I thought I did number two. Ah, okay. Don't feel pressured to be successful slash have everything figured out slash know what you want to do in the future. That's kind of like
Slash.
slash. Yeah, that's like five in one. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on young people. It kind of links back to what we said about education and school.
Mm.
Um, to know what you want to do in life, to have it all figured
Oh
out,
my
to have
god,
a
yeah.
plan, to get these grades, to then do this, to get this job, to do that. And it's like, relax. You're only 20 years old. Like I forget how young we are. We're actually so young, but there's a lot
Yeah.
of pressure on us to know what we want to do, to be working a
Mm.
job. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
it's not necessary and it's quite
And
damaging.
it's reinforced all the time because people always ask me, so what are you going to do now? I'm like, I don't know. Especially,
Yeah.
obviously, given the circumstances we're all in at the minute, it just makes that whole question even harder. And like, even at school, they're like, I remember being in year five, being asked, what do I want to do when I'm older? And having to write about it. And I'm like, how old are you in year five? Like, I don't know, like 10 or something, younger
Yeah,
than that,
19.
probably like 9 or something, 8. I'm like, how do I know what I want to do then?
Hmm.
It's like it's always reinforced into you, like you've got to be thinking about what you want to do. It's so hard. Like, how are you meant to know that stuff?
Literally, you at that age, you don't even know half the things that are happening in the world. You don't even know who
Mm,
you are, like in yourself. It's just
mm,
like it doesn't make sense, and it forces like roles onto kids as well. Like you think there's only this amount of jobs, and you're like, okay,
yeah,
I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a dancer, whatever. And yeah, it's fine to like have ambitions at a young age, but to force it's almost like forcing goals onto young kids, and then
yeah.
that's going to be damaging when they grow up and they don't reach those goals or they don't do those things. It's like, okay,
Mm,
I failed, and then
mm.
that feeling of failure is going to manifest, and yeah, I just
It's
think
not good.
it's not good at all.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel
Yeah.
you. My third one is following the status quo isn't important
Mm,
because I feel like when you're in high school and whatever, it's like really important to fit in. Like I remember like there were some girls at my school and like when I moved because I moved like halfway through year 8 to a different school in a different like place. So I needed to fit in even more and I remember like obviously like looking up to these girls because they knew how to do their hair and makeup and no disrespect to my mum, but full disrespect to my mum. She never really like did my hair or anything, so I didn't know how to do anything, nothing. All these girls know how to do like French plaits and all this, and I'm like, what is this? And they would always do their makeup and stuff, and I'm like, that's never really been something. Not that I wasn't allowed, but it wasn't something that my dad wanted me to get into when I was younger, so it kind of
yeah.
wasn't allowed as well. But then I got to that age where like I could do a little bit of makeup and stuff, and like I remember them like doing like little makeup, so like makeovers on me, and like I felt like was like fitting in more. But then as I got older, I was like, not that I didn't enjoy it at the time, but it wasn't really something I wanted to do every day. Like these girls, they wanted to do the hair and the makeup every day, and I'm like,
Long.
yeah, long. So it wasn't really me, and I don't really have like a majorly negative one about like fitting in, but that was like one example. Like I look back now and I'm like, it wasn't my time for that. Like I enjoy doing it now and then now. Obviously in lockdown I haven't done it in ages, like doing my hair and my makeup properly or anything, but it's like you should take your own time to come to your own realizations when you want them. So like me doing makeup and hair came about maybe 2 years ago, more 3 years ago.
Mm,
I don't do it all the time, but that was my time to do it. So I didn't follow the status quo on that. Or
yeah.
also like at school, like, oh, you have to be with this friendship group or you have to act this way to be cool or whatever. And when you go to uni, you realize that actually no one cares.
Hmm.
That was my experience. Like nobody cares what you do. Like no one
Yeah.
cares what society you're in. Let's just call you in a society or whatever. Like for example, so like in K-pop, no one
Mhm.
cares at uni. Everyone's a
Yeah.
bit curious, like, oh, what is it? But no one
Yeah.
really cares.
No, you don't
I
feel when you're
Yeah,
younger, you get like judged for the things you like. I think you try
yeah,
and like hide yourself, but when
yeah,
you grow up, you realize that no one cares, and those are the things that make you you. So you
yeah.
embrace. Yeah.
Like I remember when I in first year when I moved into a shared like flat with a couple of people. There's people in that flat that I probably would have at first meeting them be like, you know, if I met them at school, I'd be like scared to like say, oh, I like this, whatever. But I remember like going to K-pop Society, coming back and being like, look what I learned today. And everyone's like, oh, rah. No one cares. Everyone's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, whatever. As long as you're having fun, enjoying yourself. And I mean, I'm not saying like in a new job or whatever, you're not going to have people that are like, oh, why are you doing that? Or why do you look like that? Or
Mhm.
whatever. There's always going to be them people. But as you get older, literally no one cares. Everyone's just getting on with their own life. Like everyone's too busy to care.
100%. Yeah. Could I just ask, is that point inspired by your recent performance of High School Musical on your Snapchat story?
Uh, No, well, maybe a bit, but like I was just vibing, you know what I mean? I was just
Nah,
enjoying my time. I
she
was like,
was
oh,
killing it. She literally
that's a good time.
performed all three films on Snapchat. It was amazing.
Yeah, I had
Incredible.
to do it. I just don't care anymore. I mean, I do. There's times where I'm like, oh, should I post this or whatever? But I think that's just general insecurities, and everyone has those kind of days or
Hmm.
moments. But it's like as you get older, you're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
life's too short anyway. So
exactly. I feel like everyone feels that pressure,
mm,
especially in school. It's like so, because it's like your
mm,
first social experience of like different
mm,
friend groups and different people and getting to know people. So obviously, as you're a kid, you're experiencing like people like disliking each other for the first time and falling out
mm.
and like, you know, friendship issues, social issues. So you want to like fit in, but you grow out of it. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
for
Okay.
sure.
My number three is comparison is the thief of joy. Yeah.
Oh, what is this? Oh my God.
I didn't write that story. That's a pretty common phrase, but yeah, comparing yourself is something that I think we're all guilty of, and I think now, like in today's day and age, it's a tiny bit easier because we live in an age in social media where it's very important to love yourself. You know, self love, body positivity
Mm.
helps people in a way like in beauty standards and looking at yourself, which is important, but it doesn't stop comparison. And I think you do it more subconsciously without realizing, in terms of like other people our age, they've got their jobs, they know what they're doing with their life, they can drive, they can do this.
Me.
Honestly, yeah. So I think, yeah, I think about that a lot. I think I need to stop myself doing that because it can make
Mm,
you feel awful, like literally so bad when you realize
mm.
they've got their life together. What
Then
am I doing?
you got to remember, like everyone, again, it's almost like don't follow the status quo.
Mm,
Like everyone goes at their own pace. So, like I
exactly.
said, with makeup, I wasn't very good at makeup, or I wasn't really into it, and I didn't really get it, or whatever. But then I found my time where I enjoyed it. So everyone will go at their own pace, and I'm sure, like as well, like you'll be saying to that person, "Oh my God, you know, they have a job and they have this and they have that," but they might be looking at you and going, "Oh my God, they got a degree and they got this and they got that." So, like, you don't know what that other person thinks about you either.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you
That's
get
so
you
true.
everyone gets themselves like stuck in these cycles when actually everyone's probably looking at each other wanting something they don't have. And then when
Mm,
you have that thing, it's like you want it until you have it as well.
exactly. Yeah.
So it's all
100%.
a mess.
It's literally a whole mess. I remember I was watching, I can't remember who it was. I was watching a YouTube video like around this topic, and one of their points was don't put happiness on a goal. Like, don't say once I get my degree, I'm going to be happy with life, or once I get my
Mm,
car, I'm going to be happy with life. Because once you get there, there's going to be something else that you're going to want, and there's going to be another thing that you want
yeah,
to achieve. So you've just got to like be happy in the moment and appreciate what
yeah,
you have.
yeah.
So yeah,
That's
comparison
true.
is crazy, but
That's true. That's true. It kind of brings me sort of to my next point, sort of. My fourth one is don't let teachers tell you who you're going to be.
oof, amen.
Because I've had some bad experiences with teachers, I ain't gonna lie right now. Like I had some good teachers, like some of them were absolutely ace, and like I'd love, like I don't know if you have like teachers you'd love to meet and chat and see how they're doing. Like I have a couple of teachers like that.
Yeah.
But I remember certain teachers like telling me that I wouldn't get here, or I had one teacher, English teacher, at school, and she was like, "You'll never do theatre." I was like, well, I just came out with a first degree, so
So,
you shut up. And I think it's such a bad quality as a teacher. You should never tell your students what they can't be or what
hmm
they should be. Well, maybe you should do this. Well, maybe you should shut the fuck up because I want to do this.
yeah,
I remember one teacher telling me not to have a tattoo as well, and I was like,
that's a
that,
bit personal. That's got nothing to do with
that's got
you.
nothing to do with you or anything that you're teaching me. And like these things make me happy. Like, and I remember like it just has such a negative impact on you, and like especially at a young age you're like taught to like follow people that are older than you and people in education, and like for them to say like you can't achieve this, like why are you saying that? As a teacher, you're there to help people grow. That's your job as a teacher, is to help these children bloom into the next generation that are going to lead the country and the world. So why are you telling them what they can't do? You
hmm
should be encouraging them, um, and don't encourage them on paths that they don't want to take either. Like, obviously, if someone's taking a really bad path and they're really not doing well, obviously that's understandable. You might want to steer them in the right direction, but never
Yeah.
force them into a box. I just, yeah, I just have too many teachers that like either didn't understand me or tried to push me into things or ideas that they had of me that weren't
Hmm.
me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just remember thinking like, now I'm like, oh my God, if I met that teacher, I'd have some words to say. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to go outside, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I don't know, it just really bugs me to this day. Like, so if you have a dream, like, obviously there's like unattainable dreams, and then there's like dreams with goals that you can meet to get to that dream. Like, if you really have a dream, you're really passionate about it, don't let a teacher at school, of all places, tell you
Hmm.
you can't do it or you're
Yeah.
not going to get there because they're a teacher.
That's it.
So that's it, period.
That's crazy for me to hear as well, because you're like literally, obviously we met at uni. Since I met you, you're one of the hardest working people that I know. Like, not even lying, dead ass. And
That
it's mad that like someone would try and like change you or like put you in a box when it's like, if you just let people be and do what they want to do, then they will succeed or they will learn that way. But if you try and interfere too much, then it's not gonna, nothing good's gonna come out of it.
And I think some people are like, well, that's good. If people tell you you can't be something, then you are. Like, that's empowering. But I think, well, yeah, that to an extent. But also, it put me down. Like, it made me think, like, do I want to do this? And I had a teacher, um, another teacher, there was a drama teacher, and they really made me consider, do I want to do theatre? Because they were horrible to me. And my friends from school know who this teacher is.
So if you're listening, this
If
is for
you're listening,
you.
yeah, you know, okay, you know what teacher I'm talking about. I ain't gonna call them out. I'd love to call them out, but
Oh,
it literally made me reconsider doing theatre. And
oh
my
God.
other friend wanted to do like writing and go into films, and that teacher made her like not do it.
Oh God. That's awful.
I
That's
mean,
literally
she's still
awful.
doing what she enjoys, but in a different way now. But I'm like, that one teacher literally stopped people from pushing forward and doing something that they could have possibly done. I mean, things happen. I do believe things happen for a reason. So my friend's got into a different job now, and you know that that's probably a good thing for her future. But
Yeah.
anyway, just don't listen to teachers. They don't actually know what they're talking about. That's what I've got to say right now. Teachers have no idea what they're talking about. They just think because they're a teacher and you're younger, they can tell you what they think. Nah, don't listen to them.
Yeah, and that's the horrible thing as well, because they're a teacher and you're a kid, to say that to a kid as well.
Mm.
Like, if you're saying that to an adult and you're giving advice, at least the adult can think for themselves. If you say that to a kid, you're instilling that in them and
Mm.
they're going to think that and
Mm.
grow with that. Ugh,
Mm.
it's horrible. Do not
Get rid.
rate that.
Don't rate that experience.
No. Okay. We're on number 4. Okay, my number 4 is be flexible and accept change. So,
Oh, I haven't got anything like that.
because I feel like, yeah, a lot of us are like on a certain path, on a certain journey. We have an idea of where we want to be in 10 years' time or 5 years' time. And we had that idea when we were younger as well, like, oh, when I finish uni, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be able to do this. And it's about your own expectations as well. Like, don't worry if you don't achieve that, because things don't always work out like how you think. And sometimes that's for the best. So, yeah, don't be scared of change, because sometimes it's for the best, and change is a good thing as well. I feel like everyone has negative connotations towards change, but
Mm.
yeah, it's not always bad.
Yeah, it's not always a bad thing. And
Mm.
I think as well, like change, like we said, like it's not always a bad thing. I think change is good as well. Like you might have thought, well, I'll be here by then. Well, things may change and you might get there sooner or you might get there later, but you will, you'll still achieve good things. Like even if you don't achieve them on time or specifically how you thought you would, like, and then sometimes you might not achieve something, but then you might achieve something greater. So yeah, flexibility and like not being, because I'm someone like I have to do things and they have to go right and have to go on like to my plan. So
Mm.
like sometimes like like being flexible can be quite hard for me, but that's something I'm learning. Like, you've got to try and be flexible and like have the A/B plan as
Yes.
well. Like, if I don't do this, then I'll do this as
Mm,
well. That's good to have like backup ideas, like so not everything's like riding on this one idea.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of links into another point I've got, so I won't go into it too much, but like to not
Okay.
be so hard on yourself as well. But
Yeah.
I'll talk
Yeah.
more about that in a bit.
Okay. Number 5. I've put structure is important to achieve goals. So mine's kind of the opposite of yours.
Hmm.
But what I mean by that is not like your whole life's planned out, but like if you do nothing, you're not going to achieve your goals. So if you like have a good childhood and everything, but especially when you get to uni, things are not given to you. Like at school, like you're kind of forced to do things. At uni, it's completely flexible. Like if you want to do well, you've got to work hard. No one's going to force. No. Like if you're not doing well at school, teacher will be like, "I'm going to ring your parents" or
Yeah.
whatever. At uni, no one cares. If you ain't doing well, they're like, "Whatever, you ain't
Yeah.
my problem." So I think once you get to uni and you start getting into like that adult life of work as well, or like apprenticeships or whatever, like structure is key, especially if you want to have time for yourself and your friends and everything. You have to structure your time. And I don't think it's a bad thing to have a structure as well.
No, no.
Again, I'm not saying like set in stone, have the A/B plan, like I'm going to do this amount of work today, but if I don't, I can always do it on Sunday or whatever it is. But I think structure is great to achieve goals. And make sure that you are spacing out your time well enough to have time for yourself as well. Because if you all you do is work, 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 and you've not set any time to have a break, then you're just going to burn out as well. So it works not just for goals, but also to keep your mental health and your physical health on par as well. So I think structure is good, but obviously being flexible within your structure is just as important as well.
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like a balance. You need a balance.
Yeah, yeah,
So don't put too much pressure on this one goal to achieve it. But also you can't just be relaxed and like, oh yeah, I'll get there when I get there. You have to put some work in
yeah.
to like go in that direction if that's what you want to do. You can't
Yeah,
just float by and then hope that one day it will show up on your doorstep. So
yeah.
yeah, and like you said, structure is key because you'll burn out if you don't have structure.
Mm.
And yeah, you need like a schedule, a timetable,
Mm.
work towards something, because if you don't, then yeah, you're just going to feel overwhelmed all the time and stressed, and
If
that's not a good
you
thing.
don't have a structure, you'll end up like Aisha in the library at like 3 a.m. in the morning. So you gotta get that structure.
I
So
There's been dark times in that library. Let me tell you that now. I miss her. I do miss her, but
nothing could be worse than me dying. Literally, like, did I have COVID-19 last year when I was in that library? Remember when I was dying and I couldn't stop
yeah.
coughing? I was like, I'm gonna have to leave because I was making so much noise. I could not stop coughing. I was like, I'm gonna have to go home.
I was literally about to cry from laughter because we were on the silent floor and you were like, you're about to go. Oh, it's awful, but bad. Dark times,
Oh, dark times, not library, dark times.
honestly.
Oh,
Okay, what are we on?
5.
5. Is it you or me?
You.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay. My number 5 is let go of baggage, old baggage. Let go of
Ooh.
things in your life, move on. Because I cannot tell you how much of my free time I spend just thinking about that one time 5 years ago when I completely embarrassed myself doing something at school, or that old thing the other day when I said something that I didn't mean, or that other, you know what I mean? Like those
Yeah,
cringy
yeah,
memories, those like attacks you get where you just think about how much of an idiot you are. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm working on that because it's still an issue, but yeah, you have
It's
to,
hard. It's hard.
yeah.
It's hard because, like, it's like regret, isn't it?
Hmm.
Regret's hard to let go of, and guilt as well. Like I have the same thing about something like a bit more deep. Like at the minute, like I'm trying to let go of something, and it's really hard, especially if you feel like maybe you could have changed something, but you have to realize like it's in the past now. You can't change it.
Hmm.
Like you can revisit it and get closure, but you can't. Other than that, you have to let go and move on because life just goes on, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Um, even if you want to stop and like change something, you can't. Life's going on. You've got to get on with it, or you'll fall behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also, it's just not good to like dwell on things all the time.
100%. Yeah. I find as well that the time that you spend like dwelling on stuff and like thinking about those embarrassing moments, you don't spend half that much amount of time like thinking about all your achievements, all the good things that you've done. Like
Mm.
you need to
Yeah.
give yourself credit as well, because
Mm.
if that's all you think about is the negative, then you're going to have this negative image of yourself inside yourself, and that is just going to have an overall bad effect on your entire life. But yeah, give yourself credit as well and forgive yourself, which is
Mm.
another one of my points, so I'll stop there.
Okay. Number 6 for me was time alone and time for yourself is as important as time with those you love.
Okay.
Because I think everyone thinks like, I don't think people understand how important time on your own is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, to, even if it's just doing, if you're doing nothing, like having time away from people to recharge your like social bubble battery, or having time to just schedule things, plan, having some quiet time is good for you. I think we are like, we're just, the way we're made is like we want to be, majority of us want to be with other people. We want to be loved, we want to be cared for, because it's just evolution. Like, we used to have our own like packs, so that's just how it is. But having time on your own, I think, is really important. Like, even if it's to reflect or have time to wind down after work or whatever, it's really important. I think it's also important to have time with other people. Like, if you're
Mm.
working all the time, obviously you need to have time to have fun and let go and get loosen up. So I think time with other people is important, but just as important as time for yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I like, because I'm a person that I need to be around people. I'm a people person, but at uni, having my own space, but it was nice to just have time for myself. Because now I'm
Mm.
back at home, I don't really have time for myself. So I'm like, oh my God, I miss it.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely relate to that. I feel like, again, balance is key. Like you need to spend time with people. It's not good to be
Mm,
alone all the time, but you need that alone time to get to know yourself and to develop and grow. Because
mm,
I feel like if you spend all your time with people as well, like you never have any alone time, you can lose sense of who you are. You need
mm,
you need to like know who you are, spend time with yourself, do things that you enjoy, like harbor your creativity. I'm not sure if that made sense, but you know what I
mm.
mean. Yeah, yeah. I just think it's important to do that and charge your social battery as well. Like there was a point in uni where I feel like I was seeing people every single day and my social battery was just gone. I was like, oh yeah, I wasn't really excited by the idea of going out anymore. So yeah, it's important to spend time by yourself as well.
Yeah, really important.
Hmm. Okay. Number 6. I'm losing count, so obviously.
Yeah, yeah, we're on number 6.
Okay, okay, okay. It's never too late to do the things that you've always wanted to do.
Oh, I like that. I think that's
Yeah.
a mantra throughout all ages.
Hmm. And it feels weird saying it at our age, Tony, as well, because like I said before, that's still so young. But
Mm,
yeah, there's a lot of pressure on us, not even just from like school education, but from each other, from society as well. Like, oh, we're too old to do that. What the kids are doing, we call like 16-year-olds kids and 15-year-old kids, but we're not that far off. And like sometimes I talk to people and they're like, oh, we shouldn't be doing those trends anymore. We shouldn't be like dressing like that. That's for like teenagers. We should be more mature. And I'm like, we're only 20. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like we should be enjoying
yeah.
life.
There was one girl. I have a food account, for anyone who doesn't know, on the podcast. Because I'm vegan, like to share recipes and stuff. And there's one girl that we follow each other, and I think she's like a lifestyle coach and stuff as well. And there's a trend going around at the minute on Instagram. It's like, what are you up to? So you tag a couple of people and you see like what your followers are up to. And I tagged her in mine, and hers was watching That's So Raven, and she messaged me like, oh my God, you've caught me doing something really cringy. And it's like, well, why is it cringy? If you like that show, you should watch it. Like, if your favorite show, if you're 15, your favorite show is SpongeBob SquarePants, live it, love it,
Hmm.
rock that. Like, it's not too late to watch whatever you want to watch. Like, if you like That's So Raven and you're like 25 or whatever, then watch it. Like, I feel like you get to these ages and it's like, well, that's immature, so you can't do that now.
Hmm.
Or, you're this age, so this means you should be doing this. Well, I think that's a load of bullshit. So
Yeah,
I think you should do what you want to do and
100%.
don't be held back because like what never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, so just enjoy it. If you really want to watch that show or you really want to buy that pair of shoes or whatever, do it.
100%. I think that applies to like all the points that we mentioned so far as well. Like we could literally go tomorrow. Like if you died tomorrow, would you be happy with
Be
everything that
happy.
you've done? Yeah. So you can't really hold back. You've got to focus on yourself and do what you want to
Mm,
do. Yeah.
yeah.
And also, That's So Raven is a banging show. That is
Oh yeah,
literally legendary.
I know. Honestly, that was the one back in the day. I'm telling you now.
Honestly, top tier, top
Is
tier.
it on Netflix? It must be on, or is it maybe it's on Disney Channel or whatever, or Apple TV or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, it might be on Disney Plus. I'll have a look. I'll have a look and let you know.
Ah,
Ah.
okay. Number seven we're on now, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
It will take time to find out who you feel you are or what you want to be.
Yeah.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like I was so focused on school and trying to fit in and all that stuff. I didn't really realize who I was or what I wanted to be till I got to uni and I had my own
Okay.
time on my own and I was independent and I found the things that I really enjoyed doing and I was doing a course or like a topic on the course that I enjoyed. Like until then, I don't really think I knew exactly who I was or what I wanted to be.
Mhm.
Because like your whole life, it's like you have to do this and do that, and then you finally get this time where you're on your own. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So like, sorry, the dog's moaning. I think it's okay to take your time to find out what you want to be or who you want to be, and you're going to be like, I saw this post and it's like cheesy. And it's like in your 20s, you'll understand that you'll feel lost, like, especially now. Like I don't know what I'm going to do next, but like you will discover who you want to be, and that's not something that comes like overnight. It's a long thing, and things
Mhm.
will change as well. And I think that's what people, like you said, you need to be flexible, but also flexible in yourself. Like one day you might think you're something, and then something will happen. You're like, that's not me.
Mhm.
So it'll take a while to figure out exactly who you are. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
That one's a bit of a more open one. It's not very specific, but it's just something that I thought about. Like, yeah,
No, I agree. I think it makes a lot of sense as well. And it kind of reminded me of like what you said at the start when you're like, I wasn't really sure of what I wanted and who I wanted to be. I think that's kind of, it kind of relates back to your point about teachers and like the effect that they have on you when you're
mm,
younger, like trying to put you in a box. So stuff like that can like affect who you are and like what you know about yourself. Like if someone's telling you should be that thing, you're going to try and be that thing, but deep down you're not that thing. So taking the
mm,
time to unlearn those things that people have told
yeah,
you and then find out what you really want is important.
mm,
Yeah, and you don't need to rush that either. Yeah.
yeah. It'll be something like you'll be like 50 and you'll go, damn, I don't feel like that anymore on this. Like
Hmm.
it's always something that's going to change. So don't be like, I don't know who I am. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I want to do. Like that stuff will come. And if it doesn't come, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely. Yeah.
I don't have everything figured out.
No, no, not at all. It's kind of like that panic. It's like a quarter life crisis, isn't it? Like when you get to the start of adulthood, and like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know where I want to go. And yeah, I think it's important not to worry too much and not to get too hung up on it. It's okay
Mm,
to feel lost, but yeah,
mm.
just enjoy the ride. Just keep going.
Enjoy it, man. Just keep going.
Yes. Okay, so my number seven kind of links to that. All these points kind of link to each other, but yeah.
Mm,
Um, Mine is focus on yourself. So take time for yourself, focus on your journey, your path, your goal, whatever you want to do. And yeah, because even throughout adulthood, people will still try and like impose their expectations on you, what they want from you. And you can't lose sight of what you want for yourself, if that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's very important to look after yourself, spend time with yourself, and know what you want to do, and know it's okay to change. And yeah, self care basically is something that I'm still working on. But yeah, I think that's very important. Exactly.
Um, Number 8. People will take advantage of your youth and your age.
Oof. Yes,
I
that's a
find
big
this a lot
one.
at work as well.
Yeah.
Because you're young, people think that they can make you do anything, or that they feel entitled for you to do things when you're not. You're not entitled to work for anyone for free. You're not entitled to do this favor for this person because they're older than you. You know, just because you're young and you're starting in a career, or you're whatever it is, whatever situation you're in, you're not entitled to do something for someone just because you're younger than them or they're more experienced than you.
Hmm.
You know, experience is obviously really important, but just because someone's experienced doesn't mean they know everything. So if you have good ideas and stuff as well, like, get them out there. Don't let people take advantage of you. And I just think, like, people think, oh, they're young, they can do it, or they've just started and
Hmm.
they're young, they can do it. That's not how it works. So don't let people, obviously it's going to happen because you're young, but don't let people take advantage of you. So it's
Yeah.
not a really big one, but it's just something that I've experienced a couple of times recently. So
Yeah. No, I think that's so true. Especially, I think that's something that's very important for young people, but not a lot of young people know that. They don't realize when they're being taken advantage of. So, yeah, I
yeah,
think that's very important. And like another perspective on that as well, I think in a lot of cultures, age is a big thing. Like you have to respect your elders, you have to do a lot of things for your elders. And I think, yeah, to a point, respect your elders, respect your parents and stuff, but you don't need to worship them. You don't need to
yeah,
live by their rules. They're not always right. They don't know everything. Yeah. So I agree. For
100%,
sure.
100%.
Okay, number 8 for me is stop caring what people think, which I think is something that everyone can relate to.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know. Especially for me when I was younger, I was a very big people pleaser. I always tried to make other people happy, friends, live up to their expectations, family. And it's just draining. And I think that's something that hits you when you get to our age as well. Our
Yeah.
age is like we're old. But yeah, I feel like it links back to my previous point of focusing on yourself. You need to have that. It's not a bad thing to want to make other people happy, but you can't.
To what extent? To what, what effect is that having on you? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? When it gets to the point where it's like having negative impacts on you, that's when it's too far.
exactly. Yeah. So you need to find that line and realize where it is and yeah, what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want people taking advantage of you. Either you don't want people like, oh, she's done this nice thing for me before, so she'll do it again, and then you'd be like, oh, well, I'll do it because no, don't keep doing the same thing for the same people, especially. And it's not like you do something nice for someone to expect something back. It's not like, again, like presents. You don't give a present to expect one back, but it kind of is in a way. Do you know what I mean? Because if you care about one another, you will give and receive. Do you know what I mean? That's how it works,
Yeah.
relationship, friendship. So if you're putting something into a friendship or a relationship and you're not getting anything out, then that's when it also becomes draining as well.
Yeah, 100%. Especially at the point when you brought up about relationships. Yeah, like material things like presents obviously don't give to receive, but
Yeah.
when it comes to relationships, it's a two-way street. It's like respect.
Mm.
If you want something to work between two people, then both of these people need to be putting in work. And if you're doing more than someone else, yeah, you want that relationship to last, but if it's not having a good effect on you, then it's not really worth it. Do you know what
Like my nana says though, she says like, but you do though, don't you? Like you do give to receive.
I mean? Yeah,
True. You give to receive. But
yeah.
it's not, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's just
No.
how relationships and friendships work. Like you do give to receive.
Mm,
It's how life works. So if you're not getting anything out of what you give, if you're giving 100%, you're getting 50% back, then that ain't worth it.
nah, cut it off.
Okay, gone. Okay. Number 9. I've put the world as a scary and terrible place, but there is always something good to be found in the mess.
Oh,
So it's like at the minute, especially like everything bad has literally happened in 2020. Like I swear in January, it was this year, there was the fires in Australia, wasn't it?
yeah.
In
Every time someone brings that up, I'm like,
I
what?
know. So we've had like that, and we've had COVID, and we've had Lebanon, and we've had all this stuff come out. It was kind of coming out last year as well, but like in China with all these concentration camps for like Muslims, and
Hmm.
we've got the Pornhub crisis that I'll talk about later, and what else has happened? Like there's been
Everything.
bombs going off in
Yeah.
places around the world, things setting on fire. We've had the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, just think, if you just look at it all, it just seems like the world is terrible. But
Hmm.
like, there's always something good in it, even if that's just meeting up with your friend and having a good time. There's always something like worth holding on to or enjoying. Like, my kind of thing was like beautiful places. Like, I like to go out. Like, even in this world that seems chaotic, like there's really beautiful things in nature and stuff as well. Like, the world is actually really beautiful. It's just people that have made it really ugly. So yeah, there's always something good to find in it all, even if it seems like the world's crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like even in all those awful things that have happened, you can find beauty in it. Like the way that people have pulled together in COVID,
Mm,
or the response that the Black Lives Matter movement has gotten, how many people are standing up for it, making a change, educating themselves. It's really nice to see how people respond to it. Well, most of the time, like you said, people can be awful, and like a
mm,
lot of issues are like human made, and you see terrible things happen, like in the concentration camps, just awful, some of these things. But when you see people standing up for it and people coming together, it gives you hope, sort of. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's nice to find those, like the positive side of things. Yeah, for
Mm,
sure. Okay.
definitely.
Um, 8 or 9? We on 9?
Nine. Oh
9.
no.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah,
okay?
9. Yeah. Sorry, I just malfunctioned. Okay. Yeah, 9. Forgive yourself. Very
uh,
important to forgive yourself. Yeah. Um. Yeah. It kind of, in relation to your last point as well about everything happening in the world. There was a comedian that I watched, Hassan Minhaj. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I
He
probably recognize him.
Yeah, yeah. If you saw a photo, you'd recognize him. But he brought up something called compassion fatigue, and basically, it's like only having so much compassion in yourself to give to everything. So, with all these things happening in the world, people are going to feel guilty for not being able to dedicate their time to as many things. Like, obviously, we try our best to spread awareness, put things on our stories about all different topics, but there's going to be loads of things that we don't know about, and then
Mm,
we probably feel pressured to be like, oh no, I feel terrible. I don't know about this. I didn't share this petition. I didn't do this. And like, it can be draining. I
mm,
feel like that's a horrible thing to say, but it's true. Like, with so much going on in the world, you can't care about everything because you need to
yeah.
focus on your own
You
life
don't
as
even know
well.
about everything as well. So
Yeah.
there's always going to be so many things in each country, and like God knows how many. I don't even know how many countries there are. I should probably know that, but do you know what I mean? There's so many countries in the world. They're all going to have their own issues and multiple of them. So you know, it's hard to know every single issue.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. And I kind of went off on a tangent there about like caring about different issues, but like forgiving yourself, even the things you've done in the past. Like,
Mm.
no one's perfect. Maybe like in school we were a toxic friend to someone, or maybe we've made
Mm.
mistakes, or maybe we've let someone down that means a lot to us. Or yeah, I think these mistakes, obviously, they're not great, and we have to grow and learn from them. But forgive yourself for them as well. If you keep it in your head that, oh, I'm a horrible person, I did this 6 years ago, then you're never gonna fully grow from that or overcome
Yeah,
that.
I'll move on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think forgiving yourself. And it's easy said than done. I don't know how you go about doing it like mentally. I think that's something you need to work on and like
I think
talk
it'll
to
be
yourself. Yeah.
different to individuals as well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
person to person.
People have different ways of like doing it and looking after themselves mentally and growing from that. But yeah, doing it, acknowledging that you need to forgive yourself and working towards that is something that's important, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Okay, the final one. Mine's a bit material, my final one. Number
Yeah.
10. Money, money isn't everything, but it sure does help.
Yes.
So I really hate it when everyone's like, "Oh, money isn't important. Money doesn't, you know, money doesn't affect us or whatever it is." What people say. I'm like, well, it does. Like the world does revolve around money. So to say like, "Oh, it doesn't matter" or whatever, like it's unrealistic. And especially when people like just jump into your dreams, or you can't do that. You need money to do these things. So something I regret as well is not pushing through my anxieties and stuff and getting more jobs when I was younger and stuff. But I also was doing so much work and stuff. I don't know if I'd have been able to handle working and doing certain education stuff at the same time. But like getting a job is important. Like not to put pressure on yourself, but like to be able to fulfill my dreams and things aspirations I want to do, like to travel and stuff, I'm going to need money, and I
Yeah.
want to make it a reality. So money is actually important in order to achieve my goals. So not to hold yourself like at this level where it's like I must get a job, I must have this much money. To have this much money, I'll be happy. To no,
Mhm.
I just mean like be proactive in trying to benefit yourself or get experience as well to help you out. And money will help. It doesn't matter how little it is. Like it will help you through certain situations and help you reach things that you want to do. I think it's really unrealistic when people are like, oh, money isn't important or whatever, happiness is the key. But sometimes you can't be happy without earning a certain amount of money. So I don't like this whole like money and happiness thing. I don't like how they're like so close together.
Yeah.
They're never making any sense. It's just like people are like, oh, do what you dream of doing, but it's not realistic if you don't have money.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying go out and be a millionaire or only be happy when you're a millionaire, but try and to work on yourself and to where you want to be. You've got to you've got to graft basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at. You've got to graft a bit in order to reap the rewards. So that's what I'm doing at the minute. Trying.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Like, obviously, money isn't happiness and it's not everything,
Mm.
but it makes your life easier. And I think in a world where there's so much stress going on and so much pressure put on all of us, like to have an easier life is something that can help us be more beneficial and encourage us to achieve our goals even more. Yeah, so money, it does help you out 100%.
Yeah, money obviously isn't everything, but it does help. I don't get where people are like, money isn't everything. Well, it is a bit, isn't it? It does help you be in a safe environment or
Mm.
reach your goals and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Uh,
people say money isn't happiness. And it's not going to make you happy, but money you can buy food, money you
yeah,
can buy concert tickets, money you can
yeah,
buy clothes that make you look nice and feel better. It's
yeah.
not a bad thing. People make it out to be a bad thing, and it's not. Like
Mm,
having some materialistic things that make you happy. Obviously, you don't want to be happy 100% through materialistic things, but
yeah,
it's not a bad thing to have that either. Yeah.
100%.
Okay, my number 10. In the words of our president, our Lord and Saviors, BTS,
Okay.
love yourself. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, go, 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 go,
gang,
go.
gang.
No, it is really important, but I feel like, okay, BTS, their influence is massive and they've made it this whole trend movement, love yourself, but it existed before them as well. Like,
Mm,
taking the time, everything that we've mentioned, I think, in this episode, forgiving yourself, moving on, etc., loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, who the hell? What's RuPaul's little thing? What did he say?
love yourself. Oh, hang on, I'll get it up. You keep talking.
Yeah, but yeah, if you don't love yourself, then you're never gonna be content. You're never gonna be happy. You know the trends. You know what everyone's saying. Everyone's talking about it. Yeah, it's just very important to do it. It sounds cliche. It sounds very
Oh, I know
cheesy,
what it is.
but
If you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love somebody else?
Facts. Exactly. Exactly. It's so true. It's so true. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's difficult to achieve. No one's gonna love themselves every day and never have any imperfections or insecurities, but you have to make the effort, I think, to understand yourself, forgive yourself, and love yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you there.
Mhm.
So that was our 20 things we've learned whilst being 20.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of deep things there.
Yeah. I feel like this has been a therapy session.
I know, it does feel like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's good. I think sometimes people don't really realize like what they've learned or like, how far they've come,
Mm,
moving on from like things that have put them down and learned, it's not beneficial for them anymore. I think it's good to reflect on that.
100%. Yeah. So,
Okay. Sorry, what were you say?
sorry, I was just gonna agree to say like reflection is key.
Yeah.
Yeah. To grow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so as always, in our last part of the podcast, we like to dedicate 5 minutes to a cause, a charity, a business that we want to highlight and talk about. I've pretty much rewrote up a video that I've seen. You know what? I haven't even got the social media link to what the Instagram account is, but I will put that in the description below. I've got the website link with me that I can talk about as well. But do forgive me, I can't remember what the Instagram is, but there's an Instagram account that I came across, and it was talking about this like massive crisis on Pornhub at the minute. Well, not at the minute; it's been going on for ages. But I thought I'd talk a little bit about it and let you know what you can do to help. So this might sound a bit robotic, but I'll tell you what I wrote up from this video. So in the video, it says Pornhub um, is a like user generated when it comes to their content, and there's 6 million new videos each year. Pornhub makes millions of dollars in ad revenue, data, and subscriptions. So they profit a lot off of these videos that are user generated. The site directly enables and profits off of rape, sexual abuse, and child sex trafficking. One example was there was a missing 15-year-old girl who was finally found after 58 videos of her rape were posted on Pornhub. Another girl, aged 14, was assaulted and raped on camera for 12 hours, and she had to beg Pornhub for months and threaten legal action to have her videos removed from the site. The Sunday Times also did an investigation and found a video of a toddler being abused on the site through that investigation that they did. There was also another example that 22 women were found to be coerced by producers of a partner channel of Pornhub, which is called Girls Do Porn. And the owners are now facing a federal indictment for child pornography, sex trafficking of a minor, sex trafficking, and sexual abuse. These examples only scratch the surface of the things that have been found on this site, and in the video it goes into more detail about the things that they just found in a small part of their research. There is no system to verify age or consent of anyone featured in these videos, which means that the site forever memorializes the trauma of these victims just for the profits of Pornhub and the users. This video and this website that I'm going to talk about want to hold the website accountable for their actions that profit off of all these terrible things that these victims cannot get off the website. So if you want to help out, I'm going to put the social media link to their Instagram. So if you just want to flick through their Instagram, have a read, that's Gucci, that's good. It raises awareness and more people become aware, I guess, of what's actually happening. And then there's also a website you can visit, and I'll put the link below as well, but it's traffickinghub.com. Now on traffickinghub.com, they have a petition that you can sign to help them. I think the petition is like trying to remove the website or make them accountable. And then also on the website, it talks about if you are a victim, what can you do? And there's all sorts of stuff on the website. So if you want to check that out, that's cool. And we're going to obviously, as we always do, post some stuff on our Instagram about it, and we'll share some stuff on our story so you can get involved as well. And also just a disclaimer as well, I'm not somebody who believes like the sex industry is bad, or that people should stop creating content. All this is doing is wanting Pornhub to be held accountable for these issues that they are profiting off of. So no disrespect to sex workers at all. This is just about helping those who have had traumatic experience happen to them, trying to help those people out. So if you want to check any of that out, the link will be in the description, and everything will be on our social medias as well. Which brings me to the final part, is if you want to go to any of our social medias, it is the same for Twitter and Instagram. It's wakeup_podcast. So if you want to check Twitter or Instagram out, give us a follow, comment some stuff, let us know what you want to see, DM us, whatever, that's cool with us. So that is the end of today's episode.
We did it.
We did it. I wonder how long this one's going to be.
I know. I have a feeling we got through our points pretty quickly, so I'm hoping.
I think it's an hour at least.
Yeah, probably, knowing it. But yeah, if you made it to the end, again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, we will see you in the next one.
We'll see you. Bye-bye.